The Ayn Rand Institute, especially Matthew Morgan, the Undercurrent, the Objective Standard, the Ludwig von Mises Institute, and Students for Liberty have all been very generous in providing material support. The UMass Republican Club, especially the president, Nathan Lamb, who I don't think is here, members and friends of NEOS, the Center for Student Development, especially Lloyd Henley and Melinda Nielsen, staff from the Student Government Association, especially Janam Anand and Ben Johnson, and the Political Science Department have all been very helpful and patient in setting up and publicizing this event. I'd like to thank Dr. Bernstein for coming here tonight and for putting up with me during our constant correspondence. I thank the private individuals, including Lynn Bork and some who wish not to be named, who supported this event financially. I'd like to remind everyone, first of all, to please turn off your phones. I just did. Thank you all for everything you've done for yourselves, and thank you for your support and your presence. It will be worth noting here that the voluntary, friendly cooperation among these groups and individuals is exactly what capitalism, actual capitalism, is about. I'd like to remind those joining us on the live stream through justin.tv that we are streaming live from Amherst, Massachusetts, and there's a delay of about 3 seconds. There will be advertisements, but I don't know how often, so I apologize. Thank you for your patience. Please join the chat if you're able to, and follow the link to like NEOS on Facebook. Again, members of the audience, if you could please turn off your cell phones, I would appreciate that. In a few minutes, we'll have Dr. Bernstein deliver his lecture, followed by a question and answer session. All questions will be welcomed at that point, and we would appreciate if you would refrain from any other commentary until then, or you will be asked to leave by our security outside. After that, we will sign copies of his books. He will sign copies of his books, Capitalism Unbound and Capitalist Solutions. As a gift for buying one of his books, you will receive a copy of Atlas Shrugged. For buying 2 books, you can receive a copy of Inclined to Liberty. Before turning this event over to Dr. Bernstein, I'd like to share what is right and wrong with the world, and how NEOS and all of you fit in the picture. I dedicate this short portion of our event to 4 people. Steve Jobs, whose unwavering vision and heroic management integrated the ideas and innovations of Apple and all the other great minds in it to put the world in the palm of our hands. My uncle, Carlos Ignacio, who lived a full life in a short life and showed us how much human hands can accomplish. UMass Professor Lynn Margulis, whose commitment to truth and the scientific process helped us to better understand the origin of life as we know it. And Ayn Rand, who showed us why these people were good and right and gave us a philosophy to take life to ever greater heights. A casual look at the last decade can leave little doubt that we are approaching the climax of that philosophy. Governments are collapsing in Europe. Regimes in the Middle East are yielding not to rights-respecting states, but to majority rule over what rights to violate. American debt is spiraling out of control in beyond conceivable numbers, and the political sphere keeps evolving further into sports commentary and favor trading as the state and the economy become more vastly tied. And the good is divorced from the practical. It's always easy to blame capitalism for these problems, yet it has never actually been a disease because it has not existed. It remains an ideal yet to be tried or understood. We cannot fight for it for its own sake or for the sake of invisible hands trickling dollars. It has to make sense with an S before it can make sense with a C. It is a means to the end of our freedom. Freedom to associate or not. Freedom to rise above our circumstances, race, and class, or not. Freedom to make and keep as much money as we want, or not. But never at the expense or sacrifice of another's life or income. Capitalism, like our individual lives and actions, requires a moral and philosophical foundation. NEOS is helping to build that foundation. Like other groups forming around the country and the world, we bring together students of shared values to build a philosophical foundation is nothing less than a battle, but a worthy and winning battle, because we have reality on our side, freedom in our reach, happiness in our sight, and our minds as our weapons. Many people have fought this battle without recognizing its superlative importance or realizing that they are taking part in it. If you have ever craned your neck to the skyline of New York City, thinking, I love those who built this, or at the stars and thought, I know someone who will get there, you have fought that battle. If you have ever been told that you are too idealistic, but achieved that which others deemed impossible, you have fought that battle. If you have ever lost friends for guiltlessly sharing your beliefs, or gained friends with simple glances of understanding and recognition of shared values, you have fought that battle. If you have ever taken great joy in helping others, or marveled that anyone would do so merely to obey majority opinion or holy commandments, you have fought that battle. If you have ever felt a sense of the profound glory of life, of the objective goodness of the universe, of the boundless potential of the individual that could never be matched by the annals of traditional philosophy, the proliferation of cardboard signs, or the galleries of contemporary art, you have fought that battle. And if you have ever walked through a sea of empty faces, calling out like the lifeguards of the Titanic, is anybody alive out there? You have fought that battle. If you have fought that battle, you have never been alone. There is life among the living. There is still so much good in the world, and this battle is for that good. Excuse me. This is the battle of the new intellectuals, using their own minds, captaining their own souls, marching to the beat of their own drums, shrugging the weight of the world, and living while alive to pursue guiltless happiness. Some people would have them on their knees, those who surrender morality to consensus, convenience, or memorization, who have pulled wool over our eyes, covered our mouths, and tied us to fences and each other. But we who have always been and forever will be on our feet do not have to give up the world to them. In the name of the best within you, stay on your feet and keep fighting. Keep up the good work and the good thought. Get off the fence. Open your eyes and ears. Do not apologize. Do not ask permission. And do not assume that the majority in the public or in the government has only good intentions. There's work to be done, a world to be won, a life to be lived, happiness to be achieved, and values and ideas to be shared. So make the most of your life and never sacrifice your values in doing so. For those of you already fighting, this is the moral sanction you do not need. And capitalism is the victory you have already won for yourselves. For those who are not, this is a call to arms of the most purely philosophical sort, that you may reclaim your minds. In the name of the best within you and among us, in honor of the great minds that have made our world possible and our lives better, I welcome you to the Renaissance. The Renaissance will be led by the new intellectuals who have infiltrated culture, politics, academia, and the sciences, and they shall not be stopped. For them, there shall be no idle moments, because every second of sleep or waking life, every bite of food, every syllable uttered to the world, every cent spent, and every laugh with friends is in their rational self-interest, and in mine, and in yours. I thank the people who fight this battle that will save their lives, their minds, our country, and our world, because they have shown me that I may fight for my own life and mind. We have worked hard to earn the privilege of inclusion in the words we and our, that I may now say to brothers and sisters in arms, wherever they may be, we have nothing to lose but our chains. We have our liberty, our lives, our happiness, and the world to win. Go forth and win the world, but first, please join me in welcoming a friend, an Atlantean,